In this video, I will talk a little bit more how to do the basic scripting within BIMscript and how that works. So within BIMscript, once you have created a new script, you will get a set amount of default parameters. So you get the LOD 100, 200, and 300. It works like any other programming language. So it basically says here that if LOD, the parameter, is the parameter option 100, then whatever is within these two curly brackets will happen. So if I add geometry or add materials or anything like that, that will happen if the LOD 100 parameter is chosen. Now the basic setup here, you can see that we have if, we have else if, and we have else. So these are three different statements that we make. So when you first reference a parameter, you should always use if. So this is always used for the first time you reference that parameter. For the second time, it can be either else or else if, depending on how many parameter options you have. In this case, we have 3 parameter options, which means that the second one is else if LOD is 200, and the third one is else. Now this basically says that if it's not 100 or 200, this happens, because these are comments here, so I can technically remove these. If I would have more than 3 parameters, I would have to do more else if statements. So if I copy these in, all right, so let's say I would have 3 and 400 and then 500 as else. Then I would have each and every one of these parameters or statements be else if. So the first one is always if and the last one is always else. It's also good practice to keep all the statements in the same line here. So if you would have parameters or statements within these parameters, so let's say I would have one here, it's good to keep this on the same line just to have a good structure, and you can see easily where you've done wrong if you get any error messages. So that's a bit the basics of how the actual scripting works within BIMscript.